I have never understood why it is greed to want to keep the money you have earned, but not greed to want to take somebody else's money. When you want to help people, you tell them the truth. When you want to help yourself, you tell them what they want to hear. It's amazing how much panic one honest man can spread among a multitude of hypocrites. People who pride themselves on their complexity and deride others for being simplistic should realize that the truth is often not very complicated. What gets complex is evading the truth. The first lesson of economics is scarcity. There is never enough of anything to satisfy all those who want it. The first lesson of politics is to disregard the first lesson of economics. Much of the social history of the Western world over the past 3 decades has involved replacing what worked with what sounded good. The problem isn't that Johnny can't read. The problem isn't even that Johnny can't think. The problem is that Johnny doesn't know what thinking is. He confuses it with feeling. Intellect is not wisdom. Some of the biggest cases of mistaken identity are among intellectuals who have trouble remembering that they are not God. Racism does not have a good track record. It's been tried out for a long time, and you'd think by now we'd want to put an end to it instead of putting it under new management. Socialism in general has a record of failure so blatant that only an intellectual could ignore or evade it. There are only 2 ways of telling the complete truth: anonymously and posthumously. Socialism is a wonderful idea. It is only as a reality that it has been disastrous. There are no solutions, there are only trade-offs. Ours may become the first civilization destroyed, not by the power of our enemies, but by the ignorance of our teachers, and the dangerous nonsense they are teaching our children. It is hard to imagine a more stupid or more dangerous way of making decisions than by putting those decisions in the hands of people who pay no price for being wrong. The next time some academics tell you how important diversity is, ask how many Republicans there are in their sociology department. Racism is not dead, but it is on life support, kept alive by politicians, race hustlers, and people who get a sense of superiority by denouncing others as racists. What do you call it when someone steals someone else's money secretly? Theft. What do you call it when someone takes someone else's money openly by force? Robbery. What do you call it when a politician takes someone else's money in taxes and gives it to someone who is more likely to vote for him? Social justice. Government's power to bully people who have broken no law is dangerous to all of us. Not since the days of the Hitler Youth have young people been subjected to more propaganda on more politically correct issues. You may have the right to live any way you like, but you don't have a right to have other people like it. I am so old that I can remember when liberals were liberal instead of being intolerant of anything and anybody that is not politically correct. Social engineering, the art of replacing what works with what sounds good. Lunches don't get free just because you don't see the prices on the menu, and economists don't get popular by reminding people of that. Freedom is unlikely to be lost all at once, and openly. If the battle for civilization comes down to the wimps versus the barbarians are going to win. It's amazing how much panic one honest man can spread among a multitude of hypocrites. The first lesson of economics is scarcity. There is never enough of anything to fully satisfy all those who want it. The first lesson of politics is to disregard the first lesson of economics. Life has many good things,